Good morning, everybody. Ruth Thirtle here, Business Results Catalyst. Welcome back. Welcome to another Monday Marketing Morsel. Fabulous that you are joining us, either live or through the blog, watching us through the blog. Fantastic to have you here at whatever point it works for you. And it's quite interesting that I say that in terms of, you'd think I'd planned it, in terms of whenever you're watching this, because it actually really fits in very well with what I'm about to be talking about this morning in terms of planning. Many of you will have heard the adage, failing to plan is planning to fail. And nowhere do I think that this is more true than within marketing. People tell me, I'm busy, I don't have time for marketing. Great. And then they come to me a few months later and say, yeah, I'm not busy anymore. And the marketing's not working. Immediately click of the fingers, because it doesn't. It's not the way it works. So what we're going to be looking at today, and then over the next couple of weeks, is about how to plan your marketing. And today we're just going to start with a few little pointers as to how you can clear a little space, like you can make some space in your diary for marketing so that you actually never have to say that you don't have time for marketing again. If you're in business, when you say that you don't have time for marketing, what you're saying is that you don't have time for any new customers. And if that is genuinely the case, you're at the point where you are at capacity, you know full well that if you needed more clients, you could literally send an email, do something within 5 minutes, and you know 100% for a fact that you will be able to fill that space in your diary, then great. You don't need to. You can just switch off now and not listen any further. But I don't think that that is true. I don't think that, for myself included, that for many of us that is the case. We need to make time for planning for our marketing. Now, one of the things that people say is they're kind of, I'm going to call it an excuse. So I'm going to call it your procrastination. The business owners that I deal with, they love what it is that they do. They might be an accountant and they love helping people with their numbers. They might be a tour operator and they love doing their tours and their tourism. They may have to do with baking or cookery and they love that side of things. But the business side, that marketing side, that talking about themselves, getting people in the door, they don't love. And what we tend to do as human beings is that we focus our time and attention on the things that we love to do, and that's natural. But we still need to spend a little bit of time on the things that maybe we don't love. Because what happens is, let's take cookery for an example. There's some time that we've put aside on Thursday afternoon, just say, to do some social media, to spend some time working on our business. And somebody calls up and says, oh, I'd love to come and have a cooking lesson with you. Can you do something on Thursday afternoon? And we immediately jump at that opportunity. But what we don't do is move our appointment with ourselves somewhere else. And we're not taking our appointment with ourselves seriously. Now, what I say to people is, if you already had a cooking lesson in on Thursday afternoon, would you book another one? And they say, no. I say, well, that person on the other end of the phone doesn't know whether it's another cooking lesson that you have in on a Thursday or that you're going for a massage or doing something that you want to do or working on your business. So one of the first things to do is to actually take appointments with yourself seriously. If someone really wants to come and do what it is that you want to do, they will reschedule, they will be flexible. They might put it out there to say, I can only do this day. But if you couldn't do it because you were dealing with another client, then you couldn't do it. So we need to start taking these appointments with ourselves seriously. This is assuming that you're actually making an appointment with yourself to plan out and to implement your marketing. I'm going to give you an example for myself. Today, in fact, Monday morning, the last Monday of the month, which is this week, I have in my diary, and we all have Google Calendars or Outlook or whatever now, we can literally say something once and know that it's going to appear in our diary every month for the rest of our lives until we tell it to stop. So every last Monday of the month in the morning in my diary is a 2-hour appointment with myself to plan my following month. So for now, to plan December. Now that is planning my marketing. That is my social media. What are my social media themes and posts going to be for the next month? What do I need to do? What are the activities that I need to undertake to ensure that the things that I've got in place, because I plan longer term as well, but the things that I'm looking at happening and that are rolling along, what do I need to do to keep that happening? Now, because of things that have changed with my week this week, Monday morning is not a convenient time for me to be able to do that. Literally, after I've finished on here, I've got a few bits to do and then I am out to see a client because I've got a very busy week. However, I have not just ignored that appointment. I have not just deleted that from my calendar. I have moved that appointment to tomorrow evening. My choice, I'm going to work after hours on it. But I've moved it and I will keep that appointment so that I keep to do my marketing and keep scheduling. So the number one thing for you to do is to actually schedule some time to look at your marketing. I schedule on a monthly basis. What are the big things? What are the big projects, the big chunks that I need to be working on? I then once a week, literally at the end of the week, so before I turn the computer off on either the Friday or the Saturday, depending on when I've chosen to work, before I turn the computer off there, I plan out the big rocks, the work that I need to get done in the next week for myself, for my own business and for my clients' businesses. And then on a daily basis, I like to do it at the end of the day, I plan the next day. But by continually being on top of things on a regular basis, now this only takes 5 minutes. For me to plan the next day, it takes me 5 minutes. I'm not, adding masses of work for myself. As I say, 2 hours once a month, that pretty much keeps me going, ticking along, and knowing what's coming up, actually scheduling my social media so that I'm not on social media wasting time every single day, that I am on there when I want to and join in the conversation, but it's all very strategic. Then once a week, maybe half an hour. And then once a day, 5 minutes. By doing that, by having those plans, by having those times scheduled, it means that I am constantly making time for my marketing. If I need to move them, I can. I have that flexibility and so do you. But it's a move, it's not an ignore, it's not a delete. So I want you to grab your diary out. I want you to schedule yourself some time to spend on your marketing. It doesn't have to be massive amounts of time. But make sure that on a daily, a weekly, a monthly basis, you are doing something consistently for your marketing. Get it in your diary. That is how you actually make a little bit of space to have it happen, is to take those appointments seriously. I'd love to know what you do. I'd love to know what you schedule. I'd love to know what it is that you kind of shove it to one side by doing something else. But I'd love for you to share your experiences. So please do comment. Anyway, I will be back next week. We're going to be looking at our important tasks and our urgent tasks. And so we'll have a bit of fun exploring how we actually work with that and how that fits into our marketing. See you next week, Ruth Thurtle, with another Monday Marketing Morsel, the Business Results Catalyst. See you next week. Have a good one.